BodyBags, where horror lies.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to BodyBags. It's week 180, and I'm your Sunday host, Bourgie86 here again. Yes, it's that time for the Sunday review, guys. Thank you for coming today. Now, the film I got for you guys is a film from 2015, and it's one that I wanted to go back to. I actually did watch this film beforehand a long time ago, and it's one that I wanted to revisit for certain reasons because it's a film that was always on my mind when I first watched it, and it goes by the title of Almost Mercy. Yes. If you haven't seen this film before, it stars horror icons Bill Moseley, of course, from like The Devil's Rejects and House of a Thousand Corpses, TCM2, Chop Top, of course, Bill Moseley, and it also stars Kane Hodder, of course, from like Friday the 13th fame as Jason Voorhees, and Hatchet, Victor Crowley himself. And their roles in this film aren't like the biggest of, like, because they do get like the main bill because they are horror stars. That's why I see their names like in the front cover. They sell things. But they're in the film, but their characters aren't as big as they might appear to be, even though their characters intertwine with what happens in the story. I'll get more into that later. And this film also stars Danielle Goulden, I believe that's how you pronounce her last name, and Jesse Default. And the main plot of this one, we're introduced to our main two characters of Emily and Jackson, who we see them grow, and we meet them when they were children. They become close friends, and they're like the outsiders of like this town in a way. Like they're like what they call like the weirdo kids of the town type deal. Like they get like outcast and picked on in school and all sorts of things. Even when they grow up, they still get like shunned and stuff as they grow older into the school system. Now, the town that they live in is very interesting because when we first get introduced, it looks like your normal type town. And what ends up happening is there's town has a dark side to it. Like with certain characters like the pastor, the coach, the principal, the police force, they all have like a dark circle around them that they are having hidden within the town, and they are using these two kids as scapegoats, as outsiders, to try to get them to cooperate and get them to be shunned. Now, Jackson's plan is, because he has like a very disabled life as it is with like his backstory with his family, is to try to stop this town from taking over and stop this dark side of this town for good. Emily is very resistant at first, and that's all I'm going to leave the plot up of this film, because a lot of it spoils the ending of it, so I don't want to go way too far into it for you guys. Now, my thoughts on this film is phenomenal set pieces with this film. Certain like aspects of this film feel very dirty when you watch it, like Jackson's home style and where he lives. We introduced to his father, who's actually paralyzed in a wheelchair, and it's just very dark and scummy, those scenes, and it's very interesting with the character development of what Jackson really is. And like even Emily during the narration says, can't think of Jackson's father's name off the top of my head, but he's the person that made Jackson want to hate. And you could really tell in those certain scenes where we're introduced to this character and why Jackson is the way he is. Now, I gotta say, Danielle Goulden, her performance as Emily is outstanding. She is our main character and narrator of the film, and she does a tremendous job in her role. It's a very interesting role for any actress to take, and it builds on her character, and especially when she's telling her own story as well, what's going on in her life. And it's just a very awesome with her arc and how her character builds up as the film progresses. Very outstanding performance by this actress, and she's kind of sad that it didn't get enough recognition for her performance from this film. It's a very outstanding performance. And now the town itself has a lot of like sub characters, like the principal played by Fred Sullivan, the coach played by Kane Hodder, the pastor played by Bill Moseley, who all do terrific jobs. As when we first meet them, they look very nice, like typical like back to school like coaches, principals, pastor type deal, and then we learn more about their dark side. It shows, and it's a very interesting reveal of what's going on within the film. But it's a very awesome like feel too, as because this film is kind of like a dark comedy in a way. It's not full blown in your face comedy. It's very dark tone, especially with the nature of what's going on within it. And I did like that. Very aesthetic film and very beautifully shot. It has some cool like flashback moments that happen in it too. Like it's supposed to take place like in the 1800s type deal, with like even like a few of the actors actually reprise like play different roles in like those flashback scenes, and they're very well shot and organic. They have like this like weird like tinged black and white, kind of like the silent era type of black and white in them, which I really enjoy. And it's a very aesthetic film with like its aesthetics of filmmaking, with its set pieces, with its amazing performance by its lead actress and the other sub characters that delve into this film. It's a very dark film, Almost Mercy, and it's one that has grown on me immensely since the first time I watched it. Uh, it's one that is going to be in my mind forever, especially what's going on, because it does delve into like the dark side of America in a way, and what's going on in the world. And it's one that I say check out. It's an awesome high octane thrill ride, especially with its main character. Awesome performance. So if I had to rate it, I'm gonna give it a solid 8.5 out of 10. Highly recommend Almost Mercy. It's one of my favorite rewatches of all time. It's one that is gonna stick with me, and I hope you guys check it out. Let me know what you think if you have seen this film before. Awesomeness. Alright guys, that's it for this review. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, like, subscribe to BodyBags, and comment if you have seen Almost Mercy. And I'll see you soon guys. Peace out.